We're walking down the gardens now, and I think in first year I jogged past this place quite a lot, but I don't think I've ever stopped to take a breath, because you know when you're jogging, the moment you stop, you don't feel like starting again. I remember in first year I was so terrified to walk down this path going back to my dorm at night because it was so dark and there was a forest, and then by the end of the first year I was basically jogging here at 10 p.m. every other day, so I guess you get used to it. All the same though, be safe. There's always these red poles right over there that you can click if ever there's an emergency situation, so take care of yourselves. I regret to admit that I've only really been in the greenhouse on a grand total of one time, and that was only because my crush, now my boyfriend, at that time told me to go check it out because there was a gigantic Titanarum there. For those of you who don't know what Titanarum is, it's also known as the carrion plant, and it can grow to up to like 8 feet tall, 9 feet tall, and it smells like the worst stenching rotten meat you can imagine. But it's very beautiful though. Fun fact, the name means, in Latin, it means gigantic misshapen penis. So, interesting fact. And now heading up to here, you can see that this Harry Potter Hogwarts building, it's actually Wallingford, and that was the dorm that I spent my first year in. And Wallingford is an all-girls dormitory. I think it's like one of the oldest, maybe younger than Edwards, but like one of the very oldest, and it's every bit as Hogwartsy or a secret history as you could imagine it. So there's a really nice tea room, and that's a window to the tea room right over there, and there's a piano in there, and I think I still have left one of my piano books back in there. Too bad I don't have the lock now, so I can't go in and retrieve it. Anyways, it was beautiful. I had my own single dorm. It was hella expensive, but for a first year experience, yeah, it was worth it. I remember, since it's located so close to BSB, which is a building over there, I could literally wake up 5 minutes before my first year chemistry lecture and just throw on a hoodie and dash down to class. I can't do that now anymore, unfortunately. It's like a 15-minute walk to campus from my house now. Here is the building known as BSB, Burke Science Building, and it's, to me at least, I know the building as the location for a lot of first year chem, first year physics courses. I didn't really have any classes in here after first year, but I'm sure many of the life sciences students do, because this seems to be like their home base or something. I also know this building, fun fact, as the place where I drew almost, I don't know, this is gonna sound really, really corny, but almost like through fate or something, where I bumped into my soon-to-be boyfriend, and you never know what's going to happen. Maybe go explore campus more often, and if someone comes up to you and asks you if you're lost, maybe just, muster up the nerve and ask them for their Facebook. You never know where it might lead from there. Hamilton Hall, aka the mathematics building. My friend Judy is obsessed with this building. She's basically like a math minor or like a math double major, because she is an utter genius with numbers. Inside, on the outside, this looks really, really old, right? But wait till you go inside. Let's take a look. This is a hall which I kind of imagine Einstein to lecture in. And throughout all 3 of my years here, I've been kind of sneaking in here and just doing work. There's a really nice table right over there where it's really close to the power outlet because my laptop keeps running out of battery. So ready for this. In the center. Over here is BSB, and you can see that there's really nice walkways throughout it all. People make these paths because even though there are established paths, they prefer to cut through the grass because there's a path which is somehow faster. So I think McMaster has kind of capitalized upon that sort of crowd ingenuity and has created a ton of vision paths. And as a result of all these, as well as some of the hills, you can see that we have a puddle problem. And this is small, but if you go in February, there's actually a lake. So there's a Lake McMaster which appears here every February to March. And one time I think the canoeing team, I didn't know we had a canoeing team, but anyways, the canoeing team, they actually brought a canoe in there and they started like spelunking around and all that. It was quite a ride. And behind me you can see that lovely building over there is the front of BSB. And I've had so many memories in here even though I'm not a life science student. You know, physics, chemistry, some of them are painful memories, I'll give you that. Other memories are like Discovery Day, where every year, actually for the past 3 years now, I've been hosting some workshops teaching high schoolers practical lab skills or health or science related hands-on knowledge every May. And also I've been serving as a career panelist for this event, which is sponsored by the Canadian Medical Hall of Fame as well as Hamilton Health Sciences. So it's always really nice to see how high schoolers are doing nowadays, help answer some of their questions and misconceptions about university, give them advice on choosing a program, teach them about science, explore potential career paths and more. It's overall very rewarding, but there's one trend which has been kind of bothering me over the years. It's basically that for the past 3 years, literally every single year increasingly, the high schoolers are a lot more stressed. They're asking more about how do I stand out in this competitive atmosphere, how do I get into health sci, how do I do this and that. And as someone who has a little sister in grade 9 right now, the sort of pressure is, I think, really frightening, to be honest, because a lot of them are not realizing that high school is also for making experiences. A lot of them act like it's only for getting the A+ and getting into the best university program ever. And if they don't get into that university program, well, it's the end of the world for them. And I know I've been there, done that. I was a super try-hard person in high school as well. I was gunning for Harvard since like day 1 in grade 9. Alright, but then the thing is, like, plans don't always work out. And I realized that, you know, even if I don't end up in my dream program, I could still have fun, I could still have life. You never know where life would lead you, right? So I'm just hoping that maybe it amidst all their stress and their well-justified stress about admissions and the more competitive workspace nowadays, they still realize that they can succeed and they will survive no matter what they do. It's not healthy to go all or nothing. And I've seen too many lives sort of ruined and spirits broken because of that mentality. So I'm just, you know, just a message to you guys. I know it's really stressful. You have every right to be stressed. But the thing is, don't let it consume you. And remember that there's more to life out there than just school and what degree. When you're 30 or 40, it doesn't really even matter what degree you do. And lots of people who have very different degrees, they all end up at the same place. So, you know, be prepared for surprises, expect surprises, anticipate surprises, and don't beat yourself up if you don't happen to achieve what your goal is. Okay, hopefully that's my motivational message to you guys today.